Is the cage gonna fit around them?
I hope so. Yep, it fits. Okay. That's gonna put out a lot of light.
No, Jen.
Yeah.
The toys might fall down there.
Get some kind of a profit over there. All right, go for it. Whoa, that's bright.
Nice.
Nice.
Well guys, on the last remodel video, I had quite a few people comment on that light that we just put the light bulbs in, as saying that it was too low, and yeah, it is too low, but there's going to be a table up under that, and that's kind of how we wanted it. So that's the reason that it's hanging so low there. Today, we've got some hungry pigs to feed, but I want to work on the porch of the house today. Sue hadn't had breakfast and it's almost lunchtime. You gotta give me some space, Sue.
I buried my hand. There's a bunch of food on there.
I think it's about full, buddy. What you think?
Yeah, it is about full.
What are you doing?
I'm hiding from you in this tire.
Oh, okay. That's a good spot, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a good spot.
I wanted to show y'all something kind of interesting about this new batch of pigs here. So these pigs have been with me for a month and a half, 2 months. I'm not really sure entirely. And if y'all remember the last pigs, the pink ones and Oreo, that black and white one, they warmed up to me very quickly. But these right here have remained very skittish. See, they'll let me kind of touch them on their nose because I think they just want to eat my finger. But if I try to scratch them on their back or behind their ears, they basically just panic. And I'm not really sure why that is. Won't let me get super close to them unless they're watching. I don't know. I got these pigs when they were 8 weeks old. The last ones I got when they were 6 weeks. Could it be that they were just kind of standoffish and set in their ways before I got them and now they're not going to change? I really don't know. It's odd, but I wish that at least Rooster, our boar, would change because he's going to be with us for a while, I think. I'm walking around the fence checking everything, and it's so odd because they're actually following me. If y'all can see them behind me here, but if I get close and try to scratch them on their back, they're not having it. By the way, if anybody's curious, that's 300 pounds of feed, and that should do them for about a week. All right, guys, here's the plan with these two pressure treated posts that you just saw. If you look behind me here, this is a little shelter over the back porch of the house. And this shelter has been up here since this house was put together in 1978, I believe it was. And this has been being held up by these two 4x4 posts, which are made out of sweet gum, believe it or not. And here's what has happened over the years. There are no gutters on the house, so of course that creates some water issues, especially back here in the back. And what happens is it rains, water comes off of this little shed right here, goes right down into this little ditch, and if it rains too much or if this is stopped up, water inevitably goes up onto the porch, and you can see the results here. You see how bad that's rotted out down at the bottom of this post? And over the course of time, this is the problem that has been created by that rotting post. This right here is level, and that's where it actually is. If y'all can see that bubble right there that's crammed up in the edge of that circle. And you might be able to see it from here if you look over to this side where the tin is kind of kicked up off of the new portion of the house. It's doing that because this whole thing is running downhill as that post is being eaten away from the bottom more and more and more. It's just sagging maybe an inch or so per year. In fact, if we measure these two posts here, we find that this side is 80.5 inches tall while the other side is 83 3/4. So we're looking at, what is that, 2 1/4 inches shorter on this side. Let's fix this. It looks like it's gonna fit, but I've got another 3/4 of an inch to go up, and I'm not totally sure how I'm gonna do that. So this whole thing is making me pretty nervous. This entire porch is basically being held up by this 1x4 over here. So I'm gonna take the old post and just screw it right into the header, just on a temporary basis. So if this one gives out on me, should be fine. Really overdid that notch right there. Look at that. I don't know what I was thinking. Perfect. It's the next morning at this point, and I want to find a way to mount those posts down to the concrete, but first we are going to get some corn for the pigs. I have found a screaming deal on corn and I just can't pass it up.
Best way to do it is just cut your top out. Okay. Cut your top out all the way around. Okay. And give it some slack. Alright. Go ahead, pull it.
That's good.
Where do you get your soybeans from?
Well guys, I ended up having to turn around and come back over here because I put on the brakes to turn and my bag of corn just fell straight forward. They're gonna try to set it back up for me here, but I put on the brakes and this thing just fell straight forward.
How I want to do this. I know what I'm doing, but I don't.
You're faking it real good. You could have fooled me.
Tight, appreciate the entertainment this morning. I appreciate the entertainment this morning.
Can I give you some lunch money for helping?
No, bud, you good.
Well, I sure appreciate it, Will.
Man, you're good. I'm glad you came back so we could help you.
Well guys, I feel like I have really overpromised and underdelivered on this video. I wanted to get the brackets on the bottom sides of those posts that we just put up on the porch there. I wanted to get some siding boards up on the back side of the house where that Tyvek is. And at the very least, I wanted to get some boards planed and edged and set in the house to acclimate for a while to make wall boards out of, but I am just flat out of time. We've got a really busy weekend this weekend and I have got to stop and get ready for all of that stuff. But before I do all that, I wanted to talk about this massive sack of corn that you see behind me here. So this sack of corn was really a screaming deal. I found it on Facebook Marketplace, a farmer about an hour south of me, and I just couldn't pass the deal up. So this sack of corn, it's 2,800 pounds of corn. That's 50 bushels at 56 pounds per bushel, and it costs $300 for the whole sack. And if we put that into terms that make a little more sense, if you go to like Tractor Supply or a farm store, you're going to see 50-pound sacks of corn, whole kernel corn, and it depends on where you go, you're going to pay anywhere from $12 to $15 for those sacks of corn. So this is the equivalent of 56 of those sacks of corn at a rate of $5.35 per bag. So that's way better than I had been doing. I had been buying the big barrels at $60 a barrel. This is the equivalent of like 6.6 of those barrels at $45 a piece. It's a really good deal, and I'm really thrilled that I was able to get this deal. And big shout out to the farmer for helping me get this thing set back up. Basically what happened there is I was going down the road about a mile away from the farm and put on brakes to turn, and it just fell over. It just fell over. And he said he sold about 50 of these, and I was the very first person to have that problem. So I leave it to me, I guess. And for anybody who's wondering, no, my tractor cannot get this off of the trailer. Luckily, I don't use the trailer a whole lot, so I'm just gonna leave it up there, and I'm gonna scoop the corn out as I need it. And once it gets light enough, maybe I'll take it down then, but it's really okay where it is. It's under shelter and it's safe. So anyway, I wanted to talk about this sack of corn, which I'm extremely proud of. I think this will get this next batch of pigs to market weight. So pretty good deal, pretty excited, pretty good deal on this one. That's gonna do it for this video. Guys, I really appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.